up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag here in the morning, early morning. After a really difficult loss to Philly. I mean, that was one I just felt. We kind of gave it away. I don't want to say I don't want to pull a Denny Green and say we let them off the hook, but definitely let them off the hook. They tried to figure out ways to give us that game in the end. We just didn't take it. But I will say this: take a bigger approach to the game and really to the season. I mean, they were the home team, their division rival. You got to win your home games against your division. So the pressure was on them to win. It would have been great for us to win. I thought we played really well for the most part. Couple areas, we could definitely touch on. I'd love to get your comments, but before we get rolling, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share. We've been growing this channel. We got so many great things going on, and definitely appreciate all the support, man. You guys definitely are the best. I love Cowboys Nation. But looking at the game, I mean, going into it, we talked about it in the pregame on Sunday. If you guys were on board listening, you heard us say it. You know, Ferguson, got to get a big game out of your tight end. One of our tight end, that's Dak's kind of safety net. And this was a kind of game where the linebackers, you just thought their secondary was weak. Linebackers are weak. This was a game where you can really get your tight end going, and they did. I mean, Ferguson probably wishes he had a few back. I mean, he kind of said it, but anyway. 7 catches, 91 yards, had some key catches. So definitely he was looking good. CD Lamb's a beast. I mean, we talked about that. I did a video on how do people still kind of question him as being a number one receiver is beyond me. I mean, he is a playmaker. He can do it all at receiver play, in every position. And he's just dangerous, and he just lit him up. Tolbert, nice touchdown, key catch. He ended up with 3 catches and 50 yards. Gallup, couple drops. You kind of wish you had, some of that back, but he did make a couple critical catches in that fourth quarter. And then obviously Brandon Cooks kind of surprised me. I thought they were going to get him going more, especially with that secondary taking him over the top. But, when you got your other receiver getting 191 yards and 11 receptions, someone ain't going to eat. And unfortunately it was Brandon Cooks. But Dak had a, phenomenal game, 370 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he definitely wasn't the reason, we lost. The one area where and we did okay, but it still just doesn't seem like we're hitting on the cylinders and got it figured out is in the running game. I mean, I still, I've said it for months, and Philip Tanner, former Cowboy, said, "Hey, not to get hate, but is Pollard reminding you of Felix Jones?" And I've said that for I don't know 6 months, 7 months, whatever it's been, and it's not a negative. It's just Pollard. What made Pollard special is being that number 2 running back, getting the outside and just being explosive in his opportunities. And right now, it's just they got him banging in the middle, and he had 50 yards, had a couple nice runs, but it's just we're not getting that sustained running game. When we need to kill the clock and we need to take a team down, we just don't really have that. And whether they got to get Rico more involved or somebody, but they've got to do. My own opinion, I just think you got to get something going in that running game of consistency. But more importantly, getting Pollard in positions to make him, very successful. And just because he's paid like the number 1 doesn't mean you got to give him the bulk of the carries. You just give him the carries that he needs, and also opportunities in the passing game. And that's where you got to get it. But, this was a good, I mean, breaking down the game quickly, we're going to talk about it a lot tonight. If you guys catch the live show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, Cowboys go into half up 17-14, look really good. It's kind of where you want to be when you're the road team. You're hanging in there. At Philly, 2 long drives in the third quarter. I think the Cowboys got the ball once in the third quarter. And then the game gets kind of 28-17. You just not know what's going on. And then the Cowboys, here they go. They get the opportunity to get back in the game. And then just some crazy things happen. We talk about the penalties. I mean, just the officiating's been terrible across the board. So I don't want to say, oh, it's all on them, because they've been consistently inconsistent all year. So it's just something that I guess you got to get used to. But some of the questionable penalties. I mean, there was a video, and you start seeing some of the videos, but on that Rico touchdown, or Pollard touchdown, you saw Dak, from what I saw and from what the video showed, go to the official and kind of put 71 as eligible, and or at least say something to him. Obviously can't read lips, but that far away. But something was said to make it, and he pointed, I think, and then they call that penalty, which takes back the touchdown, which was huge. And then you get illegal hands to the face, which they pick up the flag. I mean, critical plays at critical times just can't happen. A holding, a holding on Parsons that doesn't get called, that pushed a big run. I mean, there was just so many things in this game that you just hate to see from the officiating. Gilmore early on, that pass interference. I mean, what a joke that was. So you hate to. Eagles won, take nothing away from them. That's just, it's a loss no matter how you look at it. But you just hate to see games like that get decided by the refs. And, or I don't want to say decided, but impacted. I mean, big plays get impacted by the refs. And I'm sure if you're an Eagle fan, you're going to look back and you say, well, geez, look at some of the plays that we got screwed on. And you're probably right. I mean, obviously, Cowboy fans, we're going to look at the Cowboy ones, more closely than the ones with the Eagles. So it's just the NFL officiating as a whole is a problem, and it's been a problem. You wish they'd get that fixed, but I would just say this for the Cowboys and Cowboys fans: you just gotta, this is a loss, but it's a divisional game, and it's hard to win on the road against your divisional opponents. And we beat the Giants opening night on the road. We lose to Philly. We still got Washington on the road, so you got opportunity to go, 2-1 on the road, which is pretty damn good for your division. We got the Eagles back at home. They held their end of the bargain and protected their house. We got to protect ours. I still think that December game is going to have a lot of meaning on the division. Look at the Eagles' next 4 games. Look at the Cowboys' next 4 games or 3, whatever it is, before we meet again. They've got a very tough task. We've got no games a given, but we've got a pretty favorable schedule going down the road. And if you think about it, like before the season started, I said the Cowboys will be 5-3 after this game. They're 5-3. I said the Cowboys will go 7-2 down the stretch, 12-5. See where that goes. I thought Philly would be 11-6. Philly's won some games I thought they lost, so maybe we're gonna both will be 12-5. Maybe they're going to be 13-4. It's going to be interesting. Maybe we could be 13-4 because the 2 games I had them losing was at Buffalo, at Miami. Those don't really look as daunting as we thought in the past. But again, you can argue that maybe Detroit is going to be a tougher game than we probably thought in the beginning. But it's a home game, so Dallas has been playing very well at home. So there's a lot of things in the mix. It's still 9 games left. I mean, the season is almost to the halfway point, right in that kind of middle part. So there's still a lot of football to be played. I would say if you're a Cowboys fan, there's nothing to take away. There's no moral victories. There's nothing to be happy about. But what I would say is the resiliency that this team showed is something that you wanted to see. Every game that they've had, they've either blown out the team or they've lost in double digits. This was a game that they had to battle back. They did. They showed a lot of fight. It's a game of inches. You had that kind of, play with Schoonmaker. You wish you would have got a little bit further in, but he got tackled, and they didn't call that. He got tackled before he even caught the ball. So that probably didn't help the situation. And then the 2-point conversion with Dak, you wish, you would have cut it up just a hair. But I mean, he's running and getting chased, and he's trying to hit that corner of the pylon. So it was just about, 6 inches too much. So it's a game of inches. And, the fumble that Swift had, I mean, Parsons was right there. There was another guy right there. I mean, if they get that, oh my God, you're getting the ball at the 30-yard line with a minute to go. That would have been really sweet. But Steele has been a problem in big games. I mean, he has got to, and I know he's coming off an injury, and there's always say is with that type of injury is a 2-year process, but we don't have 2 years. We need that man to step it up. And in the 2 big games that we've played, he's been pretty damn bad. And I think I think he gave up 3 or 4 sacks yesterday on his own. And when I'm talking about sacks, I'm talking whiffs. I'm talking not everyone's covered, a coverage sack. I'm talking beat off the line where Dak doesn't even get an opportunity to even do anything. So, but we talked about with Dak, absolutely, a great, phenomenal game by him. Again, we talked about it in the pregame. What we love, where I think Dak is always the best is when he's on the run, when he's flushed out of the pocket, when he's throwing on the run, when he's moving, he's using his legs. He can throw on the run better than most quarterbacks in the NFL. So I think that's where Dak kind of gets going. He gets in that rhythm. He's not your, he's a pocket passer, but he likes to get moving around. I mean, he needs to get going. He's not going to sit back there and just slice and dice you, kind of like a Brady or Manning or Rodgers, any of those kind of guys that are traditional pocket passers. I think he likes to get hit. He likes to get in the flow of the game, and showed a lot of grit. I mean, that one run, it was funny. I called that. Sometimes I said, man, he needs the quarterback sneak it in there, and it it was close, but I thought it was the right play, but him getting flipped over, you always hold your breath, hope he doesn't get hurt. But no, it's a tough game. We're going to talk a lot about it tonight, so hopefully you guys tune in. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share. Give me your comments. Let me know what you think about obviously about the game, but more importantly, what are you looking for the Cowboys moving forward? Is this a game that kind of, man, up? This is it. Can't beat one of the top teams and da da da. Just remember the two top teams we played. Obviously, they're good teams, both on the road. Both on the road. We lose to Philly at home. That's really where I would be more panicked. I mean, I'd be more panicked there. And of course, if you look at the way the playoffs, are going to work, and you've got the two teams in the NFC East, we're both going to make the playoffs. One of us is going to be the fifth seed. One of us will probably be one of the top seeds. High probability we're going to see each other again in the second round, just kind of, the way it works. So we're going to see each other in December, and I'm pretty confident we're going to see each other in January. And we've said it. It's kind of like that 3-horse race. Maybe you throw Detroit in there, want to see a little bit more from them, but it's, the NFC is there. It's there for the Cowboys, but they've got to take it. And there's just a couple things that got to clean up, get that running game kind of, where it needs to be. Like I said, it's just Pollard's not being able to be Pollard. He's not an in between guy. You need to get him outside. So they've got to work this running game to be a little bit more dominant. They were a little bit better, but still, I mean, 50 yards rushing that just ain't going to get it done. But obviously, we threw for almost 400, so that's going to happen. So anyway, hit that like, comment, share, Cowboys Nation. I appreciate all the support. We're going to be all right. Calm it down. Boys going to be at AT&T next week. Hopefully I'll see you guys there, but we're going to handle that business. Don't worry about it. And hopefully we'll get this thing rolling, and we're going to see him again in our crib. And, I don't want to say too much, but I think I'm 5 or 6-0 against the Eagles. Never walked out disappointed. I'm going to be there. I know a ton of Cowboys Nation going to be there. That's probably going to be a pretty hot ticket. So if you didn't get your ticket yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, because the price has probably definitely gone up. But hopefully I'll see you tonight. But again, hit that like, subscribe, share. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you soon. Nick, you